Hello, everyone. What's going on? Hope you are all well. Let me get a quick sound check in here. Make sure we are operating. Hope you are all well. Let me see. Excellent. Sounds good. Everything looks good. Wifey is, doing the makeup thing as usual. Yeah, let's see if I can fix me a little bit. So that way I'm actually on the screen, because I know some people like Jay from Pigskin Blitz likes to check me out. I think he loves me. I think he has a man crush on me, kind of like the whole John and Kenny thing. So hello Nisi, Sarah, Q Kitchen, V. I will figure out the names at some point, I promise. Would everybody else go to bed already? This is the late night chat. Having an awesome life. Yeah, you're probably heading to bed, honey. See, it is rather late. I know. It's probably what 10 p.m. there, something like that. So tonight's subject is Shed Wars talk. I am going to go ahead and put this right up there. I know I shouldn't do it, but whatever. I'm hopefully in control of most everything here on the panel. If anybody wants to come up and bounce around ideas or just talk, and Nisi, have a wonderful night. I hope you are doing well. Yeah, I've been hearing a lot of that around lately. A lot. Yeah. Yeah, I'm kind of boring. I know I'm waiting on wifey to. But we do have grow lights. We got new grow lights. All right, no problem, Sarah. We got these new grow lights that Whiskey and Sunshine posted on their community page. It was a little more than 50% off. And we ended up getting two of them for $36. And we're going to be setting them up real soon with some seeds, or I should say seedlings and all that good stuff. Is my stuff like focusing in and out? It looks like it is a little bit. That's all right. We're also going to try to make a video tonight on seed sprouting, seed sprouts. That didn't sound good. Well, it's all good. Wifey is yelling from the bathroom. But yeah, we were trying to, but we ended up not being able to find one of the two components for our electric seedling grower, and we were going to do the old school method. And haven't been able to get out to the greenhouse lately as far as other upcoming videos and things that we will be releasing on the channel. But like I was saying on yesterday's live, I went in there. I think it was actually, yesterday afternoon, right after, as the snow was starting to stop. And it was 42 degrees in the greenhouse, and it being 28 degrees outside, it was not too shabby, I thought. And there's no heat source or anything in it so far. There she is, the eye candy of the show, and
Hello,
today's
everyone.
main topic. So Nisi is already come and gone. She just wanted to come by and say hi.
Well, if you're not still in here, Nisi, I hope you watch the replay
Yeah.
and have a wonderful night.
Heard that. I wasn't sure the last past few months.
So after Lori's live, we started getting all giddy about Shed Wars.
Yes.
I never stopped being giddy about Shed Wars, but I'm really excited to start these clubs. I think it's going to be a huge boost in morale for everybody, and I also think it's going to expand our horizons.
Yeah.
Q, I'm glad you're in here. I am glad you made the draft, and we are going to kick butt.
Well, I'm sure there's some things that everybody needs to hammer out.
Yeah. There's always.
That's not what this is about either. This is just.
No, we just wanted to, throw out ideas. I'm still really new to growing, believe it or not. So
Yeah.
I kind of wanted to touch base and get everybody's opinion on.
Sarah, I believe so. Yeah. I really believe so. I just click right on it, and it's going to ask. I believe the cell phone will ask use of features such as your speaker and your camera.
I think the only problem you have on your phone is you can't see the chat.
Yeah, you won't be able to see the chat, but I have been trying to get more savvy with the whole highlighting of things for people who are in that predicament, such as Nikki from Blue Farm, which, by the way, is a future Shed Wars warrior.
We hope.
Warrior.
We're trying to push some people, peer pressure some people into joining. But
yeah. Wait. Give me a second. Yeah, no problem, Sarah.
No problem, Sarah. Take your time.
Yeah.
I'm still technically not ready, but
well, never mind. I thought you were going to say you're not technically savvy, and
I'm not tech savvy either.
Yeah,
I will fully admit that.
I'm halfway there. I'm getting there.
But I just wanted to ask some questions too from the bigger gardeners or people that have been gardening for a while,
or just in Shed Wars in general.
Like planning. How do you plan? Do you plan?
Yeah.
When do you start planting your spring garden? When do you start putting seeds in dirt?
After last night, Q, I understand. My brains are a little rough right now.
It has been a really kind of cruddy start to the new year, and it seems to be an ongoing trend for everybody.
Yeah, which is not good.
No, we totally told 2022 that we were not putting up with it, and look it.
Yeah. Redonkulous. But
anything out there that you're excited to plant? Wanting to plant?
We have a lot of exciting things.
New to planting.
I have some new exciting builds coming this upcoming year. At least 2 new raised beds.
Plus, we're also thinking we like our raised beds because it saves our backs. But we had a lot of issues this year with things not having enough root space.
So
Chris has come up with an idea for that as well.
It's going to be, we'll say, what time is it? It's midnight. So it's going to be a half-assed raised bed. What I mean by that, it'll probably be like 1.5 feet raised up off the ground, and we'll be able to still get, good penetration into the ground for those roots that really need that structural stability. But I learned my lesson this year. I did not read that. I learned my lesson this year. When it comes to plants, definitely go big or go home.
Don't underestimate any plant.
The overall strength of a plant, just breaking anything that I made this year. Like, yes, Q, your children mentioned about how we make vegetables levitate, and like we did, but behind the scenes, it was really hard to keep that up because
Pumpkins are heavy.
I didn't build it strong enough, and this year was a really, really good learning experience.
And part of that was using recycled materials. Like he literally worked with what he had.
This year's a little different.
Yeah.
We're gonna spend probably like $100 on cattle panel.
Hey, Passamaquoddy.
And you get notified. It's only 11 minutes in Passamaquoddy.
So
here's another future Shed Wars warrior.
We hope.
We hope. We're pushing. We're pushing and nudging, and come on.
So one of the things that I really want to do this year, like, when you think about your garden, whether you have an indoor garden, an outdoor garden, you envision it in your head. One of my ideas this year is, yes, Homestead Aquaria. You took the words right out of my mouth.
Yeah.
Cattle panels. But I don't want to just do traditional up and down cattle panels. If you've seen our setup, we have beds kind of side by side, but not really side by side.
Funny enough, I took John's idea before I even knew John's idea as far as a lawnmower width apart.
Yeah.
Great idea. But yeah.
Instead of having the cattle panel stay in its own bed, I want to have one cattle panel go up and over into the other bed.
So it's
I literally have archways throughout my garden.
They're going to be archway to archway to archway. I think it'll be really cool.
And then we'd just be able to walk underneath and
be able to pick things. That was another thing we had an issue with was just overall room for more abundance of crop.
Yeah.
We had a lot of things strangling each other out, is basically what I'm trying to say.
The vining things didn't do too bad because they kind of just go wherever they want to go.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
Oh my goodness.
I'm sorry. I'm still putting this back down. Can you guys hear me?
Oh, perfectly fine. Can you hear us?
You are clear as a bell.
Yes, yes.
This is an honor right now. I'm almost starstruck.
I am starstruck.
Oh, no, I don't usually do lives. I've had internet issues forever, so
yeah.
This is, I think, the third time I've ever done this.
Hey, it looks like it's working great, so
just got to get this set up a little better. Sorry, guys.
Yeah.
So Lori got us all excited.
Yes, and we figured we'd continue the conversation over on this side.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Not that we have really not stopped being excited. Our whole winter growing thing is not going as well as we planned because we're having temperatures down in the teens right now.
8 degrees actually right now here.
You should try going from 70-degree weather to 22 the next day, and everything just dies.
Yeah.
Is that what happened?
Yeah, I had 70-degree weather for like, I don't know, 3.5, 4 weeks straight. And so I started going, hey, I can plant more of this and more of that. And then we got like a real major frost, and I walked outside and I didn't cover anything, and everything was just flat and frozen.
It's so devastating when it happens. It really is.
Yeah, the weather is so fickle with the solar cycles. Like it's so unpredictable. You don't know what's going to happen next.
Last year, I gave my greenhouse too much props. I started planting like beans and peas
right before frost.
Yeah, right before frost. I mean, I really
guess what happened?
No, at the time, and everything was like just starting to produce too.
Yeah.
I go out there one morning and just it looked like somebody had taken a blowtorch and just
because
everything was black. Everything just turned black. I was like, oh my god.
I just want to say hey to everybody in the chat. If you're saying hi, I can't see the chat.
Robert is saying hi.
Yeah, I am highlighting. I don't know if you can see
it at the bottom, Sarah. It might be kind of small.
Yeah.
No, I can see it. Thank you. I appreciate that.
I will do my best. Sometimes it goes, but there's only 4 people in here. So
Passamaquoddy is at 12. She's 4 degrees warmer than us.
Yeah, I can't believe that. She's like 100 miles north of us. So
the ocean is not doing its job right now.
No, it's not. No. So anyway, spies. Lori's a spy, and now I'm a spy, and this is going to be fun.
It's going to be interesting because there are a lot of couples.
Oh, you lurker! You're a lurker.
Hi, John. See, speaking of spies, I'm just saying.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
He's always listening.
Seriously.
If he's not, one of his cohorts are.
Yep. So, go
it's
ahead.
just gonna be funny to see how it plays out. Like, you're gonna end up getting locked out of the house a lot.
I'm gonna be sleeping in the greenhouse. That's all right. I'll sabotage it.
You will not touch the
You see the dialogue being formed here already for the upcoming year?
Well, maybe it would be fun if we competed couples against each other for a couple challenges too.
That would be awesome.
Well, against
each other.
Like do it like we have, men over here and women over here, and then we'll just throw the couples in the center and say, hey, challenge you guys to each other.
Honestly, we're trying to feel out how the whole male female clubs are going, because I kind of wanted to join the Stiflers club and just be like that anti-gardener in the background. You know what I mean? Just
sabotage.
I think it would be fun, just to create that.
Hey, dialogue. I'm just saying, there's going to be challenges. If Dave thinks he's getting off that easy, then I don't know what to tell him.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure everything's fun. I want it to be a very fun and positive experience, and we all just laugh like it's karaoke night every day,
Yeah, that was exactly. Yes,
last night
that was hilarious.
Yeah. I know I laughed and missed all the fun.
Oh man.
Well, our after conversation wasn't as fun. You did you watch the whole thing, Sarah?
I did. That's what I did while I was waking up this morning.
Yeah, we got a little bit on our soapbox and triggered, but we, sometimes it needs to be said.
At least we can calm back down and be normal again.
And talk shit. No, I actually had an idea for, I'm going to, I guess I'm posting it in Lori's video tomorrow. I think one of the stipulations for Stiff Dave's club is you have to build a garden bed.
That'd be good.
Maybe. I don't know if that's too much of a task, or I don't know. I plan on building garden beds every single season.
A garden container.
Yeah.
Because I was going to say, not everybody might be able to have a garden bed per se.
That's a good point. Yeah. I don't know. I admit you just want to be
Yep.
Coming from Q, get in the basement. I didn't catch what happened. I couldn't hear my phone. For which part, Passamaquoddy? John's heat stroke moment last night, or
it was alcohol poisoning.
Oh, alcohol poisoning is what it was this time. Okay. Here's a question. Yes.
I saw that there were some highlights. I went back and I watched. Oh. I made sure of that.
Passamaquoddy. No, I did not. Was that just recent? I haven't checked it in several hours. So.
Several hours. It makes it sound like it's years.
Seriously, I don't know what it is, but lately, I don't know. We're just expanding networking, I guess. Trying to. Honestly. So yeah, garden talk, man.
About what Q Kitchen and Beyond said.
No, what Q. What did Q say? Now I gotta check my email. See what you've done to me. See that? You gotta keep talking though, dear. You don't want to bore people.
Sorry, I was drinking. Can't talk and drink at the same time.
Talk about all your seeds. I'm listening here, but I can
talk about all my seeds. We could be here a while.
Yeah. She's such a hoarder, Sarah. We were looking for a device, and we found even more seed packets and even more seed packets.
A whole basket of them. I was like, jackpot.
In random places.
Hey, I came with seeds in hand. That's what took me a minute. In case we had seeds.
That's awesome.
Wonderful.
So, Sarah, one of the questions I have since you're up here is, how do you typically start your garden? Like, do you go full on with a plan and stick with it, or do you kind of just like, I want to plant this year, I'm doing this?
I'm going to be doing a video upcoming, kind of getting in more detail, but basically I actually have it here. I don't use a notebook anymore because I have a big garden. So I draw on a map and I do it on parchment paper. And then I focus on what it is that I want to grow. Staples, tomatoes, beans, peppers, things like that always are grown. But I like to throw in new stuff every year. So when I start to focus where I'm putting my tomatoes, I just lay all my tomato packets in that area. And I then can go back later and separate and put those in the ground and then mark them where I'm putting them. But the key points that I like to make towards people who are planting their garden is, what are you actually doing? Are you saving seeds? Are you just doing big production? Or, you're just throwing things wherever you want? When you're doing seed saving, you have to have a lot of separation areas. So if you're doing like multiple types of peppers, make sure you plan to stick those in all areas of your garden and separate them. From my experience and from what I've learned, because I've done a lot of research on bees, is that they don't always cross-pollinate the types of peppers if they touch other flowers in between.
Gotcha.
So if you have a pepper that's over in one point, and then you have a pepper 10 feet away, but you have marigolds and tomatoes and peppers, or not peppers, beans, they'll touch all those flowers before they touch it. So you're safe to give them a good 10, 15 feet apart, and they won't cross-pollinate. But if you're saving for seeds, think about things that are second year that you have to, like the biannuals, you have to wait till the next year because you need to leave those in your garden space. So, just examples, parsley and carrots, you have to give them space and let them grow a full season. And then the next season, they'll start to flower and give you those seeds. So work in the little things like that in the space. Other than that, I rotate certain crops just to make sure things are moving through my garden and my soil always is changing. So I just kind of plan what I'm going to do. Like, I know I have X amount of rows and all my tomatoes are going to be here. And so I have, 5 pepper varieties. Where am I going to put the peppers? And then what am I putting in between? Where am I filling spaces on the end? Just kind of focus on that. And I'm going to tell you, I learned something really hard last year. Take kohlrabi, because I know you guys grow kohlrabi, stick it by itself somewhere else. 90% of your plants will not grow next to kohlrabi.
Good to know.
That explains a lot, because
it does.
We planted a lot of filler seeds in between all that. Nothing at all. So I guess that kind of explains that.
I don't know what the enzyme is in it, but I know, like, when you cut cabbage and you start to cook it, you can smell that kind of sulfury smell. The kohlrabi has it so concentrated that it gives it off at the entirety of it growing. And that's what hinders the rest of your plant's growth. So I found that out the hard time last year. I planted it and everything in the area did nothing. Like, absolutely nothing. And so I pulled them up, left the plants that were still not producing, and then they caught back up at the end of the season.
So with the way that she gardens, she's kind of like a micro gardener. She'll fit as much as possible. For that, should we go ahead and obey by those rules, or should we try to push the envelope and test the written rules already? What I mean by that is, like, instead of going 6 inches apart with kohlrabi, should we go the full foot?
I don't know.
If you're not putting other plants beside it, I think you'd be
okay.
fine.
So just keep pushing the envelope then.
What I always consider whenever I look at a seed packet, if it says to plant, 6 inches apart, that 6 inches is a diameter around the plant.
Correct. So it's a 1 foot circle.
Right. So as long as you keep in that space, you should be fine. The reality is that's the growth of the root system. And a lot of people don't realize that. That's not the size of the plant. That's the growth of the root system.
So I am guilty of that. I thought it was the leaf structure.
No.
Okay.
No.
That explains a lot of our issues.
Wow.
Right there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank
So
you for coming up
your root
tonight
system,
already.
I know you've pulled plants, and when you pull them, you have all those thin, hairy roots, but then you have those thick, long tap roots.
Yes.
Those are what they're asking you to give space to. Those pull the nutrients from the soil. So you need to just be aware that it's a circle diameter. Now, I don't plant in straight lines, even though my garden looks like rows. I actually plant like the 5 on a dice. I'll put 2 plants, then 1 plant, and then 2 plants.
That's how
And
I
that gives me all the space that it needs.
So,
And I fit
Melody
more that
says
way.
where parsnip grows next to kohlrabi, maybe that's the 10% rule that you were talking about. Melody, we were saying like 90% of vegetables will not grow, and we can attest
maybe
to
it's
that.
because it's a root crop. Maybe that has some. Maybe they share a similar enzyme.
It's interesting.
If you think about it, kohlrabi kind of is it's a root crop without being a root crop.
Yeah.
No, it's the root. Yeah.
No, that's what I mean by pushing boundaries, right? Like, just because it's written in a book doesn't mean it applies today, is how I feel, honestly.
Well, I can tell you, I learned about the kohlrabi just recently, and it blew my mind. That's why my crops were messing up the way that they were. I isolate mine into farther away from what I really need it to be. They can grow next to some of your herbs, okay? You might just have to do a search just to make sure.
Yeah. It's kind of one of those things that you just kind of have to play around with if you can afford to play around with it.
Yeah. Well, in a 5-gallon bucket, you could probably, if it's circled, I could probably fit 3 plants in mine. If it's squared, you can do 4. Push them to the edge of the buckets, and that gives you more space and more room.
We did 3 cabbages in a 5-gallon bucket this year just to prove a point. Like,
yeah,
it was over 4 pounds of cabbage out of a 5-gallon bucket. Like, okay, like this can be done.
Yeah.
I would go 2 next time, to be honest.
The way kohlrabi grows, and I know this just because I do push the envelope and I plant things so close together. Like it will work its way whichever way it wants to go. It's gonna have a really weird looking, I don't want to say bulb because the bulb develops fine, but the bottom part that comes out of the ground, that will start like snaking if it doesn't have enough room.
Yeah.
But Sarah, the one thing I learned last year, and
I mean, who's here? Jarwin. Hello.
Dara, hello.
All the way from down under.
The one thing that I really learned this year is I need to stop holding on to plants that aren't producing anymore.
Yeah.
And I don't mean not producing at all, but just not putting enough out to be worth it.
Exactly.
And rotating that to something that will give me another full crop. That's my biggest mistake is I get too
we held on to our tomato
attached.
plants until like fall had already passed.
Yeah.
So learning lessons,
Yeah. You can always, if you like something enough, you can start a second round of it so that when you go to pull it up, you can replace it. And I'm sure you guys have multiple size pots laying around, just up high as needed.
This year is going to be huge for us, Sarah. She doesn't know it, but I've already set a 1K marker for us this year. That's how enthusiastic I am.
No stress, right? No stress.
There. We said 300 and we got 430, dude. Like, we're already halfway there. And
it's great.
I plan a lot this year, Sarah, a lot.
I hope he's planning on getting his hands dirty, too.
Yes. Yep. I'm going to have to put the camera down for a couple.
Now, just a suggestion, because I watched your garden so much last year. If I was in your shoes and I was planting, I wouldn't have things growing so much upward. I'd let them grow down and around my planters. So throw your cucumbers and melons and any of your trailing vining plants, let them go downward. Then you don't have to use so hard.
Pressure. A lot of animal pressure, and they seem to stay away from the beds for some reason.
Huh.
Yeah, rabbits,
we have a chipmunk that is the devil.
Literally my arch nemesis.
We'll run to every tomato and just take a bite out of it. Take a bite out of the next one, the next one, the next one.
Oh no.
Horrible.
It's like, just take a whole one.
Take a whole one.
Why do you guys take a bite out of every one?
Yeah. But
when I got sick, I went back out to my garden because I was down for a few weeks. and I went out to my garden and I was so excited. I picked a laundry basket full of peppers. But every tomato, the rats came through and ate. So I was just throwing tomatoes out in my field, angry every 5 seconds.
Yeah,
Like, not another one, not another one. I
it's
lost
so
so much from that.
frustrating.
I think that was Robert.
Yeah,
I think so.
there's a couple of I don't want to say stray cats, but our neighbors have outdoor cats, and one of them literally left me a present this year. I had a mouse that was getting into the greenhouse, and I would, I'd be out there planting, and I'd set a seed packet down, not thinking anything of it, like, oh, I'll get that later. Well, one day I came out and it was all, not the cheap seeds, the really expensive ones that you're like, oh, precious, every single one.
You got to tell her that, Melody.
And yeah, there was a mouse that had gotten into it, ate every single seed. And the next day, the cat left me a present pretty much right on my porch. It was the mouse. I was like, good kitty, keep it up.
That's right. Evil squirrels, evil
Oh yeah,
chipmunks.
squirrels are horrible too. They dug up all of my garden
Got my
beds this
ginger
year.
root. Oh, little, as John would say, you little bastard.
That's a hard thing to grow.
Okay, I'm glad you said that because turmeric and ginger were failures.
Yeah, and I mean, I pretty much, that's how I've taught myself, is just, if I know I'm going to plant something, I'll just research. I'll watch people like you, Sarah, and Melody, and I get a bunch of varying information and I go with it.
Yeah.
And everybody made ginger and turmeric sound like it was so easy.
Yeah, I mean, look at Geraldine. All she does is just plop it in her aquaponics tank, comes back 3 weeks later, and there's a tree. Like, my goodness, what the?
Yeah.
Yeah,
No, I had an entire container. I had an
Awesome.
entire container of ginger and it completely failed. I think temperament wise, it didn't like going from indoors to outdoors, and it was dead within a week. Every bit of it. I was so disappointed.
So then it's fickle, very, very fickle.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why Jarwin is so good at it, because of her climate. Maybe it's just a really hot weather.
She's like, it's winter down here. It's like 40 degrees. Like, yeah.
Oh,
That's not winter. This is winter.
Yeah. It is. Yeah, Geraldine, by the way, it's 8 degrees Fahrenheit. I don't know. You guys do Celsius down there, don't they?
She knows Fahrenheit too, though.
I'm sure she does. She homeschools. She's brilliant.
Fish, yes.
Fish
I love
poop
fish
is
poop.
magic. Yeah.
It's one of my favorite fertilizers.
It seems like anything fish, honestly, is like the best for you. Or garden.
Yeah.
There's a lot of the big channels that I watch that will literally just bury whole fish right in their garden.
Yeah, they do.
I don't know how good that would smell, but I'm sure it works.
Even our what's that plant, that tree out there, the wisteria, does the same thing. It just reaches and stretches everywhere.
The Spring Willow Farm spreads the roots out and plants it, and they have such success with it.
Oh, that's a farm. I thought you were talking about weeping willows in general. That's hilarious.
Whispering willow.
I'm sorry. Sometimes I'm challenged. My bad. See, she's laughing at me.
So Robert says ginger and turmeric need to be warm. They go dormant at 65.
That's probably what it is.
So you need a hot room, basically.
A grow room just for turmeric.
Yeah.
Ginger.
I like capsaicin Colt. Did you see that on Courtney's the other day, Sarah?
No, I missed that one.
Capsaicin Colt, she does super hot peppers, and she has pepper trees that are 3 years old. And what she does, she converted her closet into this grow space, and it stays like 70 or higher constantly.
I would totally be in that closet right now.
Yep.
I follow a guy. I don't know who's really familiar with him in here, but his name's Peanuts Peppers. He's down in Louisiana. Him and I have been great friends for a while now on YouTube. But he has an entire room that he lined with aluminum foil and put grow lights and a heater and stuff in it. And that man, he has peppers in there, lemon trees. I mean, just everything that needs a lot of heat. It's amazing just to see some of the stuff he does. I mean, just his whole room is just full, completely full.
Maybe
Yeah.
that's what we need to do with the greenhouse in the winter. Just aluminum foil it.
Maybe put the insulation and then even like those emergency blankets, the
Yeah.
reflectors. We have 3-inch thick mattress foam as insulation for our greenhouse.
Well, some of it is real insulation too.
Some of it is, but most of it's bedded lining. But maybe just that extra
layer.
Can't hurt, really.
Yeah, I'm wondering if it's more the foil reflecting the light that kind of attracts all of that heat down to the plants better. I don't know. My greenhouse is all windows, and I still have not, because I'm so new to it, I haven't been able to utilize it the way it needs to be. This is a learning season for me now. So,
yeah. Why, that's new, that window pane greenhouse that you have?
We just put that in last spring.
That's awesome, Sarah. It's gorgeous.
Yeah.
It's like my dream greenhouse.
We must have just joined you right after you put that up.
Oh, Melody, stay tuned. You're going to be seeing that real soon.
Turn your bed. Yeah. It's right there. Honestly, the lights that we're going to use.
Oh!
These were such a steal, we thought. Honestly,
they're on a tripod.
That was $17, Sarah.
Bendy, flexible.
And apparently you don't need to change the lights out ever. Ever.
And I mean that it looks small, but this goes up to 6 foot tall. So
yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And we got that for $18 a piece. They were 50% off.
Yeah.
That's good. I had last year I bought one of those photo lights with the big white tint on it.
Yeah.
And I just used a regular screw-in grow light bulb. And I used that and just rotated it throughout the day against all my plants. And then I upgraded to hanging lights, but I still don't have enough light source in my house to grow all of my seedlings correctly. So I'm going to tell you, get that light source down before you start big productions, because I spend day in and day out moving and switching trays all day long to make sure all my plants.
And I understand why too, Sarah, because last year we had nothing. We have a 3-season porch on the front of our house, and there's an electric heater out there, so it stays relatively 60, 70 degrees on average, which I knew was an okay temperature for plants. So
hello, Vanessa.
But I had a horrible problem with everything reaching for the light.
Yeah.
A lot of leggy seedlings. I mean, I was able to correct most of it just by burying them a little extra, but
yeah,
I would much rather give my seedlings the best possible start. I think that's another production issue, is if they're, always trying to catch up.
Yeah. Well, we'll give a review on these, Melody, once we get them
set
up.
They're supposed to have every single UVA, UVB, all that good stuff.
It said blue, warm light, white, warm light, UV, and
oh no, you threw the box away before I even got to read
Actually,
it.
it's literally right there still.
Well, Chris, the best way that you can test those lights out is get yourself a pot now, put some dirt in it, and throw some bean seeds in it.
Yeah, because that'll come up overnight.
Yeah, they grow super fast. They also don't need pollinators, so you can have fresh beans in your house, just sitting in, a room.
Yeah, I open pollinate. I love it.
We really want to concentrate on the longer duration plants, getting those in right now.
Peppers.
Yeah. I mean, we had a good pepper season. Last year, we harvested 1 pepper. This year, we harvested maybe 30 pounds of peppers.
I was going to say,
at least.
Quite a few pounds.
So.
Such a shame.
Yeah, last year was so depressing. I was like, I am never growing peppers again. This was stupid.
Right.
1 pepper. And it was the most sad, pathetic bell pepper you'd ever seen.
It tasted good.
It was great, but it was
tiny.
That big around, about that tall. I'm like, okay, maybe it's New Hampshire peppers don't do well here.
Yeah, that's the way the world works, right? Just
But
Geraldine.
the thing I found really funny from just my own personal experience, which shows you that, plants find their own way. This summer, when it was really hot out, I expected the peppers to do the best because that's what everybody said. They love the heat. They love the heat. My peppers did terrible during the summer. As soon as it started to kind of taper off, it's like, boom, exploded. I was like,
well, Vanessa,
okay,
I will
do your
say,
thing.
stay tuned. You'll find out how we're going to heat our greenhouse. Hopefully it works.
Yeah, we got an amazing Christmas present from his parents, and yeah, we're not going to disclose too much because that will be an upcoming video here soon.
Yeah. As soon as it's not 8 degrees.
Yeah, it's a little too cold to go play outside right now.
Yeah. What is it?
I'm pretty sure we're supposed to get down to 0 tomorrow.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
Woohoo. So I don't know if our plants are going to make it.
No, they've already not making it.
Ah.
I was really sad. My neighbor gave me an amazing, just really nice pot. I grew so many seedlings this year that I had no room for half of them. So Chris's aunt lives across the street, and our neighbor is a huge gardener too. And she's one of those people where you comment on one of her plants, and she's like, "Do you want a cutting? Do you want seeds? Here you go." So this year, just, I'm looking at all these extra plants, and I'm like, yeah, I could probably just throw them in pots myself and grow them. And then I'm like, you know what? I set up little care packages for his aunt and the neighbor. Yeah. And it she was going through a really rough time. She had lost her job, and it just really brightened her day. And she comes over a week later with this gorgeous planter with just a whole array of cactuses in it, succulent cactuses. And I was like, what? I mean, she decorated it with hummingbirds, and it was just so nice. And I left that in the greenhouse, and yeah, it did not survive.
That's funny. I have a sheet mat. It's one of those, I don't know if you've ever seen them, the mats that have the plants in them that you can just throw in the ground somewhere. I have one that's succulents, and I hate succulents. My husband bought it for me, and I put it outside, and I left it purposely to die. And that thing has lived for 5 years straight. It will not go away.
Maybe they'll come back. I mean, they're not they haven't turned black or anything like that, but they're all just drooped over.
Oh, Vanessa.
Yeah, I don't know if it's the root systems or what, but they might still come back for you. I can't kill mine.
Vanessa, we are kind of neighbors. We are in New Hampshire on the border of Massachusetts.
Literally
on the border.
It was hot as hell here, and
see, we had the opposite. We had our peppers do better when it was cooler, not super hot.
Melody, I only water everything at the roots. That's really my thing.
Kitty. Yeah, he doesn't like the camera.
Yeah, he's camera shy. It's okay.
We tried doing a kitty video the other day. We got this new green screen, so we have the old one. I put it on the ground. I put catnip all over it, expecting them to do what they do. Guess what they didn't do? They didn't go crazy. They didn't make a good video. I was kind of angry at them.
Oh.
Because they really Sparky will kind of swim in it and almost look like a fish, literally. And Smokey will bat toys around and throw them up in the air, and it's pretty hilarious. But they just kind of did a chew and screw, really.
They're like, thanks for the drugs, we're out.
Pretty much. Pretty much.
I am really proud that I grew that myself for them, though.
I didn't like the way it smelled. Oh,
I didn't like the way it smelled either, but I came into the house with it, and they were right up my butt.
They are awesome.
It's good for us too. There's a lot of medicinal properties to
that. That's another reason why I grew it. But once I smelled it, I was like, could you imagine putting that in tea?
It was nasty. Mm-mm.
Oh, I shall teach you, my sweetie.
I guess that's one of the new children fads too. They like to smoke the catnip.
That's
crazy. Yeah, well, they never mind. I'm not even going to go into what children do nowadays.
Well, I do know I just got a book at Christmas that's Native American medicines, herbal medicines. And there are a few notes in there on herbs that they only smoke. They don't use for teas or anything else. They smoke it. I don't see why you would do catnip. That stuff stinks so bad.
Yeah, and it would be terrible. Mulleins one of those, though, isn't it?
Yeah, that's
one. Mullein was one. Valerian root was another one they kept mentioning. There's a mountain mint that goes by a different name. I can't remember what it's called now. But those, yeah, I don't know.
Mountain mint. That sounds delicious.
Yeah, I wanted to get seeds for that this year.
That really does.
It's kind of pretty.
Cute. My Yorkie used to eat all my herbs. Yeah. What's that? My peppers didn't do good. I got 3 peppers from 6 plants. That was our first year. Honestly.
Can you believe he's still sitting in my
Yeah, I know. He wants something. He's probably waiting for treats. Those pepper plants live for 7 years, huh? Wow.
We have one jalapeno that we left in the greenhouse to see if it.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna. I don't think it's gonna make it, John. I think we failed you on the pepper saving.
We tried so hard.
Oh man.
Next year it's coming inside.
Yeah, but there's just no room. That's our main problem is like we have no room to do what we really want to do, our full potential.
Okay. You don't need to claw.
What's going on? Carla.
Hey, Carla.
Hi, Carla.
Sorry, I'm squinting to read. Even with glasses, I still squint.
I'm getting to that age where, I have to make the letters bigger
as
on
you
the cell
notice,
phone.
I move closer to the screen every time I want to read something.
Yeah. Everybody's saying hello. What's that one? Eat my marigolds. Dang. All kinds of animal pressure.
That's
everywhere.
really weird because there's so many things that don't like marigolds. They're supposed to be spicy.
Cue, yuck.
I just bought something and I can't remember what it's called now. I'm getting tired because it's late. I have a seed order coming in soon, and I'm wanting to say it was Tulsi. It's an herb I found that it's supposed to be as strong as like citronella.
Yes.
But you brew it in a tea form and you spray it around your plants, and it's supposed to deter everything, like every kind of rodent out there.
Yes,
yeah, as soon as like I said, I don't have the seeds yet. I just ordered them the other day. But when I get it, I'll let you guys know what it is.
That sounds familiar, though. I've heard that name thrown around before, Tulsi.
Oh,
I think that's what it is.
No, Tulsi.
Tulsi.
Yeah, but I'll send you guys some seeds too. It's supposed to be like super fast growing, and you can just pluck like one little cluster of leaves and brew it in some tea and put it in a spray bottle, and just spray your plants down.
That's one thing I got to stay on top of this year. Just the way the end of the season went last year, with my dad getting sick, it just
Q knows what you're talking
everything
about.
took over my garden.
Tulsi. Q knows what you're talking about.
I just did a big herb order because I went through my book and I read all these new medicinal herbs I'd never heard of, and so I went crazy. And I can't remember everything I ordered, and I know I'm going to get in trouble when they get here because it's going to be a whole big order. But I found some really interesting, neat stuff, some new stuff that I want to share this year, things that most people wouldn't know of.
Now, Sarah, who do you usually use for seeds?
I keep.
Or do you use multiple people?
I use multiple, but I keep very local to my area. There's a company here called So True Seeds. I use them. They have they're just honestly like Baker Creek, but smaller. Yeah. And they have Southern gardeners that grow the seeds for them, even though the same plants can be grown in the north. Then I also use Southern Seed Exposure, and I'm a real big fan of Mary's Heirloom Seeds. She usually has some really good deals, and that's what I always look for is just, $1, $2 pack of seeds.
Yeah.
it gets expensive.
That's why we use the Dollar Tree a lot, and
get the 25-cent packages, which,
Yeah.
by the way, 90% germination rate on all Dollar Tree seeds.
Oh yeah, I love them.
They're amazing.
Yep.
Yeah. When we were just starting out, and we had no idea how we were going to like gardening or just all of it. Just
you could call us the CV experimental crowd that actually passed graduation. You know, the people were like, oh yeah, we're going to do this because of such and such, and then they fell off a few months later. Yeah, we kept going. Here we are today.
Hey, I'll tell you a secret.
What's that?
This was the first year I've ever ordered from Baker Creek, and I ordered 4 packs of seeds. They were way too expensive for my taste.
Yeah, it's not cheap. That's why I said my fancy seeds. Those are the ones I'm referring to.
Yes.
From those companies.
Yeah.
And my gardener isn't too bad. $2 for just about everything.
I will buy his, but I do find, because I followed him since he opened the store, the first 2 years that I ordered from him, majority of the tomatoes were not the tomatoes I purchased.
Yeah,
and so
I've heard a lot of that, and I've heard the germination rate is not the greatest either.
Yeah, so I trust him with like herbs, and I'll try some new tomato varieties here and there, but I don't order as much from him anymore.
See, it's funny that you say that too, because I don't know if you follow him or not, but he on Facebook just announced that he had recreated an old heirloom, and he was, selling
the 82-year-old tomato.
Yeah. So now that you say that, I wonder if he really did create the right tomato.
Now, I watched it when he started that journey. He actually purchased like a seed packet that was framed in an old warehouse. Yep. And out of the whole pack, I think he got 3 seeds to germinate. That was a good 5-6 years ago. I remember he actually grew 1 tomato from it, but in my mindset, with as much seeds that I saved myself, even if he grew every seed from that first tomato, he still would not have enough for production to give to the mass amount of people that buy from him. Like, I don't know how he limited those seeds. I've seen people who said they purchased 2 packets. That's all you were allowed to get. I mean, I have no idea.
Well, I know they didn't last very long because I was actually checking into it, just because I think that process in itself, just bringing back an extinct heirloom, is amazing. Yeah. So, I mean, I was kind of following just to see, but sales were over within like 3 days. So he said that they're going to be working on more, but
there you go.
It's probably going to be a while.
Haas Tools is expensive, so we've been told.
We've looked at Haas. They're not horrible.
Yeah.
I've never done Haas Tools, even though they're kind of local to my area. I've never even bothered to look.
We were checking out on Facebook. They have the Baker Creek group, fan group, I guess you could say. Which I joined just because it's kind of like our community. It's just a bunch of people sharing plant information.
Right.
And there was a lady that had posted a link of like all of the top, or her top, I guess, seed companies. So I literally went boom, 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 boom down the list just to check them all out.
Yeah.
And Haas was on there. And I mean, there are some things you can get in bulk for cheap. And then there are other things where it's like, I could never spend that kind of money ever, honestly.
Yeah. Yeah. $8 for like 20 seeds. That's a little much.
No, yeah.
Yeah. But
soon you should check out Will It Grow.
Sorry, I'm behind again. Here's this one. Lovely.
Oh, Roots and Refuge is awesome.
And
it's been a while since I've watched Roots and Refuge.
She just moved like a few hours from me.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I've no interest in meeting up with the bigger YouTubers like that, but I live in my area. I have Roots and Refuge down from me, and then up above me, I have Justin Rhodes, So the land, the Fit Farmer, Art and Bree, all of them. I mean, that whole little
Sarah,
group he hangs out.
that tells me that you're living in the right area to grow.
Yeah.
No, 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 no. I'm going to be honest. If it was the 1800s and I was on a horse and wagon coming to settle land somewhere with my husband, I would shoot him in the head for moving here. It is the worst soil ever.
Yeah,
Ever.
see, that's our problem too.
Yeah, but we're gonna change that this year with our secret weapon.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have a secret weapon this
From
year.
New Zealand.
No, it's not New Zealand. It's Scotland.
I always say Scotland, and you correct me and say it's New Zealand.
No, it's Scotland. Have you ever heard of Cuckoo Cottage?
I have. I saw you guys. I know what you're talking about. The
So that
super
stuff
soil.
supposedly actually recreates soil. The microbes break down your clay throughout time of processing it with this stuff will turn it into rich organic soil again. That's what they advertise. We're going to see. We'll see.
Well, hopefully it works. I have not found anything successful here. I can tell you if I go to plant my fruit trees, I have to.
Carla, stay safe. Oh my goodness.
Bye, Carla.
Tornado in my area.
We're thinking of you.
Oh no.
Ow. No. No, I have to get a post hole driller to drill into the ground to plant trees. Like you can't get a shovel in our ground.
Huh.
I went through on my tiller 3 times. They just break and fall off.
Our yard is weird. So when we dig 4 feet down, we hit the water table at 4 feet.
Which you would think would be great for plants, but not so much here.
Yeah. Then there's other areas where you'll dig down 2 feet and you'll hit like bedrock and like really rocky stuff. So I think in the past that this may have been like ocean front because there's a lot of rocky material that seems like it's from the ocean. And once you get like 2 feet down, it starts turning into beach sand as well.
I was going to say, I thought you guys had mentioned something about sand before too.
Yes.
It's weird, just that even the color variation.
We have like 2 feet of topsoil, if you want to call it that, and then it goes to like this clay soil, and then sand after that.
And then after the sand is like almost a reddish material.
Yeah, and then you start hitting water. Like once you get to the red material, walk away, come back an hour later, it'll be filled up with water. Not a lot, but you know what I mean. Just like, oh, there's water there. So
that's crazy.
That's good in a way because at least there's a lot of water down there for like our our fruit forest that we planted right before fall or right at fall. That'll be interesting. Hopefully that comes up.
What do you mean comes up? Those things have been covered in buds since we planted them.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I'm still skeptical, honestly.
You
all the trees we had, Sarah, we planted them. I don't know if you saw that video or not.
Yeah, I did see that.
Yeah, buckets were not doing the trick. They were becoming way too root bound.
Yeah. Now we have that many more buckets to grow food in this year. So.
Hey, you're a step above me. I still have trees in pots. I've had them for 2 years now, and I just get them into a bigger pot because I can't get them in the ground yet.
Yeah. It didn't. I don't know. We planted all 12 trees in one afternoon, so I thought that was a feat in itself.
That's good.
Yeah, I'm an animal like that. Safety, dear. Amen. Stay safe, Carla. Everybody's saying, stay safe to Carla.
Yeah.
My soil is so hard if we hadn't had rain.
I had 0 rain this year.
I thought your pond was filling up, Jerwin.
She said if we haven't had rain. It's okay, Kitty. I'm not gonna step on you.
I feel I'm about to be in Marshall for my. Yeah, I think so.
John says, "Stay tuned."
Q, you only made like 4 or 5 videos.
Only
of the John Keeney. Yeah, only. Only 4 or 5 videos. That's all.
I told him his new nickname was Streaker John.
That was so funny when Danny came up and started singing the streak.
Yeah.
When I would watch the videos, but kids around. Yeah, it's definitely not for children.
No. Poor Vineyard chicks.
They've already seen it plastered all over everything. So.
Well, I mean, you can buy the merchandise too.
Well, for John's credit, it wasn't that bad. It was a little, but not that bad.
Yeah, no, at least he had the boxers on. And speaking of that, John, buddy, have a wonderful night. We'll hold down the fort.
Good night, John.
Don't forget your
Keep
John
it in your
Keeney.
pants.
Yeah, don't forget your John Keeney.
I'll be right back.
Oh, great. Now I gotta try to keep everybody entertained.
You can do it, I promise.
Yeah, you think I can?
You did it for 2 hours while I was in the hospital.
I had subject matter. You said I couldn't talk about my subject matter tonight.
We're talking gardening.
I know. And gardening is kind of, more your thing.
My goodness.
I can talk about building.
Okay.
We can talk about knives.
Knives?
Yeah.
You just said knives? Oh my goodness, Sarah.
Oh my goodness.
I'm surrounded by them. Like, which one do you want me to grab?
I don't have any around me. I'm in a kid's room. So I got a guitar and some toys. No, I'd have to go get mine. You and I always comment here and there about knives and things like that. And a lot of people don't know that I used to try to be a professional knife thrower.
I actually knew that by paying attention to your videos.
Yeah, I was in my younger years. I wanted to kind of hang out in some of those sideshow, freak show type places. People don't know. I used to be gothic. I used to be full on crazy goth girl. I wanted to hang out with those people, and I started throwing knives, and I got really good at it. Really, really good.
I can hear you still. I'm going right here.
Oh no!
I'm so excited you just said knives because I'm gonna go get some knives. I'm gonna play show and tell and.
Yeah, I figured you would like that. That's why I said it.
And I'm getting out the giant one because I really like showing this piece off a lot.
Oh, nice.
That's one of my favorite pieces to show off. It's approximately 3 feet wide.
That's cool. Hey, I'll be right back. Give me one second.
Yeah. Give everybody a better look at that bad girl there. I know some people have already seen that one. I mainly wanted to show this to Sarah. I know some of you have seen this. This is a throwing knife. I'm starting to pick up the art of throwing knives. It's actually kind of tough. It's more of a consistent muscle memory as opposed to a speed or a strength. That's right, Q. I gotta show off my 3 foot wide piece. Yeah, I know. So funny. Then there's this one too, everyone. I'll show Sarah again. Oh, she's already coming back. How about that?
I was trying to get my broadsword, but my husband's asleep and I couldn't get the closet open.
So here's this wonderful piece. I love this one.
Oh, wow. Actually, I think I bought one like that for my son. But his had a red cord around the end, but it was almost that same sort of shape.
And it comes with those.
Yes. Yeah,
So,
I have lots of those. Lots of those.
I too have been practicing the whole knife throwing and all that good stuff. I even have throwing axes as well, which is a whole new dimension. I was just saying knife throwing is more or less a consistent throw as opposed to a speed or a power. It's knowing your distance to the target and remembering that muscle movement for it.
There is a kid's toy out there, just to let you know, you can usually find them for like $10 or so. And
Yeah.
it's a Velcro target with the throwing hatchets, the little small ones. They're foam, but you can basically hang that, and while you're sitting there, you can just throw it at your wall without any, hurting anything. That's really fun. I will pick that up and hang it on the wall all day long and just throw foam hatchets at it. It's so
Yeah.
great.
Do you see this from Aquarius?
Yeah.
That was hilarious. So it really did look like the bat symbol. Danny was onto something. I think Danny's going to come out with a Batman video here soon. Yeah, Q was getting fresh again. She said something along the lines of, Sarah mentioned knives excited Chris, and Chris decided to show her his 3-foot wide instrument or something. Like, she's so fresh.
Oh, she is. She definitely is.
Life of the party, though.
That's funny.
Yeah. No, I have so many of them. Unfortunately, most of them are in a love chest, hope chest. Actually, the one my grandfather built, as a matter of fact. I grew up around cops, nurses, EMTs, and married a firefighter. Huh? Yeah. My
I
grandfather.
collect a lot of like movie knives and swords and stuff. I'm real big into owning like Gandalf's sword and things like that. So I have a lot of that. I broke the lightsaber. That was kind of sad. I broke the lightsaber, and it was one of those expensive ones that lights up, like the real nice. You're not supposed to touch. You hang on the wall only.
Yeah.
Yeah, I broke that one. But
my buddy actually has the combat one. I wanted to walk out of his house with it. Like, you're supposed to fight one another with it, and when they touch, they make the.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I almost walked out of the house with it. I was like, dude, this thing's a USB charger. I'm out. See ya.
That's cool.
I so want one.
Yeah, my son's moved out now, but he was a big D&D guy, played D&D and stuff all the time. And he and his friends would get together and like do the LARPing in the yard.
Yep.
And so we would build bamboo swords that we wrapped in foam with duct tape so they could hit each other. And there was a few times where he was like, Mom, show him how it's done. And I have to come out there and beat on these little young guys. It was hilarious.
Yeah. I'm still looking for one component to a video that Robert shouted out the Vineyard Chicks with Vineyard Chicks and walking sticks.
Uh-huh.
I'm still looking for one component to put this thing together, and I got this awesome video for that involving lightsabers, since we were talking about it. So,
oh, cool.
Yeah, that'll be cool once I can find this one little piece that I need to pull it all together.
What are you looking for?
So I'm trying to attach, per se, 2 dowels together.
Okay.
In a manner to which I can just clip, pull apart, and instead of one staff, I have 2 swords. So I have component 1 to the clip. I'm just looking for something for component 2 that makes it easier for me to detach a staff into 2 swords.
How big around is it?
It's only I think it's a 1-inch diameter.
1 inch.
I'm almost thinking like a PVC pipe, but then it's not going to look too good for the visual effect. That's kind of a thing for me.
Right.
Yeah. But I don't know.
Let me think on that, because I used to come up with some cool stuff when I would help build cosplay and everything with my son.
Yeah.
Let me think on
5 people.
I'll get to you.
5 people in here, Sarah. So let me. So here.
Okay.
I have 2 dowels, and I have handles already made on them, as you see. What I want to do is be able to get them connected and be able to use this as a staff. And then when it comes time, I want to be able to turn, detach, and be able to do whatever I want with each of these. And then when I'm done, put it back, And then I can continue on with my walking stick. Add some laser effects to this, and that's kind of what I'm doing.
Okay, like I said, let me think about it, and if I come up with something, I'll let you know. Yeah, I've built a lot of weird things with my son for cosplay, and I'm sure I can figure something out.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think what it's called.
I wonder if I have the other pieces here.
I'm too tired to think.
Being
I
a
don't think I've stayed up
janitor,
this late in a long time.
being a janitor, I have access to, other people's trash constantly, and the things
Right.
I throw out, I can repurpose quite a bit because I have a pretty good imagination of what I want to do. It's just getting the pieces together to do it. And I can't find those pieces right now, so never mind. But yeah, that's one of my ideas. And I also have another dowel that's pretty much ready to go. I just got to strap lasers, effects to it, and it's like a broadsword. It's a 3-foot long sword.
Yeah.
And I actually know how to sword twirl as well. I learned from watching movies.
You ever heard of the SCA?
Messier?
No, the SCA, Society of Creative Anachronism.
No.
All right, that's basically where your Renaissance Fair came from. It's all over the U.S., everywhere. I grew up in that. My dad used to fight in the big battles. We would travel from South Carolina to Pennsylvania, and they would have these big battles with everybody across the U.S. But I lived for 14 years of my life every single day as the medieval times, basically, Middle Ages, every single day. We dressed it, we acted it. There were no planes, they were flying dragons, like that's how we were. That's where I learned archery from. I got into it when I was about 8 years old, and they used to put me in the tournaments with the men because I was so good at such a young age, and they were so impressed with me because I could just pull back a bow and arrow and hit a target, and they were always like, she's so teeny, she's so little. And I loved archery, so I stayed with it. Did the SCA for a long time, and then when my parents split, we kind of went our separate ways. My dad stayed in that fantasy life, and then my mom got serious career woman. So it was a lot of fun though. Like we walked around in armor, we walked around in chainmail, all kinds of cool stuff.
That's badass.
Yes, Robert knows.
Yeah. I know there was a TV show, or there maybe still is on, where they beat the hell out of each other, medieval warfare with axes and swords and maces, and they get into an arena and they actually beat the hell out of each other.
I have no idea.
But it's legit. It's a TV show. They're on like season whatever. I'm sure Robert knows. But along the same lines of that. And there's also a restaurant in Boston that's called Medieval Manor.
Uh-huh.
And you have to literally put yourself back into the ancient times. And what I mean by that is if you ask your waitress, like, oh, could I have a beer? She'll ignore you. She won't serve you at all until you address her as, hey, wench, get over here and get my beer. And then she said, oh, yes, sir. Right now, sir. Anything else for you, sir? I felt so uncomfortable there.
I think with like restaurants like that, and even like with the Renaissance Fair and stuff, they make more of a comedy out of it. We addressed ourselves as Lord and ladies. So anytime you were approached, it was always, hey, my lady, or, hello, good afternoon, my lord. And we spoke it, ate it, drank it, wore it. We were medieval ages all day long.
That's awesome, though. That would be so
she
much
did that
fun.
for 13 years.
That's cool.
All that good stuff. Yeah, I was describing my vineyard chicks and walking sticks, how to put it together, and then we got into talk about my other one that's kind of like a broadsword and yada yada. Here we are now.
He was supposed to be a knight.
Me? Yeah, I guess so. And I definitely don't belong in this time realm. That's for sure.
Nope.
Like, I'm all set with the Great Reset all the way back to the 1800s. Fine.
I'm with you 100%.
Like,
I want to ride a horse around everywhere.
yeah.
Even just a
They use
horse-drawn carriage.
And they used to really rock a medieval dress.
Cool.
And there are medieval LARP groups, basically real armor, real weapons, almost real battles. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Like, they're blunt weapons, like their swords are rounded off. You're not going to decapitate people. And they have layer upon layer upon layer and then armor. But they really do, like,
yeah, we actually
war.
watched a show for a while, and it was brutal.
It was fun, though, but, you know.
It was fun
brutal.
Unless you were participating.
Yeah.
People limping onto the arena.
Let's see. DDs? Oh, my. Nice. That's 280 bitty.
Size 0.
Perfect.
I won't even see that in my legs ever.
Yeah, that is Melody's size. Melody is like a size 1, size 0. You are here in
this time for a reason. Gotta teach the old ways.
You know, but that's the thing. I'm learning the old ways. So does that mean I'm going to be around when, you know, all this happens? I never thought I would be that guy, honestly.
Well, you're doing it, aren't you?
No, I'm not. You're teaching me still. The only thing I'm doing is I have my handyman's corner where I'm like, hey, if you want to take my advice, go ahead, but don't, because I'm an idiot. Here I am playing with electrical. Like, okay.
That was a scary day. I don't know if you saw that one, Sarah, but
she was freaking out. I was totally calm. I knew what I was doing.
Was that with the fan?
The fan?
Yeah. I was having a coronary.
She was freaking out. I was like, look, I've watched enough YouTube videos.
I had 911 on speed dial. I was like, here's where his heart stops.
Yeah. No, like I said, for a 9th grade education, I think I'm doing all right for myself. I was saying 0 waste, but that's not.
Nearly got his head taken off.
34C. Yeah. Well, I mean, you know, A's would look huge on a 0, right? I used to have a X that was itty bitty.
I wouldn't call her itty bitty. She was a giant.
Okay, she was 6 feet tall, but she was, you know, a 0 waist and a size 15 shoe. That was freaky. She had the same size foot as I did.
Hey, I want to take a break. Is there a way that I can like remove this, or you want me to just leave the room?
Well, there's a cam mic and it says stop cam.
I just see a camera.
Or you could just head out.
I'll just be right back.
Yeah. No worries.
I just want to talk for a second. I'll just be right back.
Yeah, no worries.
I still am, Q. I still am.
Laugh my ass off, woo. Wow. I was boobs, hips, butt, and legs. Yeah, you still are, absolutely.
Yeah, just a little too much belly in there, too.
You had 3 kids, so.
I had 3 kids and never got rid of the pouch that I carried them in.
Yeah. I'd say she's still a MILF.
GILF nowadays.
That's right. She's a GILF, everybody. How about that, huh? My hot GILF over here.
That's where I went, Q. You're allowed.
I need another smoke break.
You have been.
No, not really, man. Not really at all. What's going on? I was all booked.
All legs and a normal size chest. Thank you, Q.
I'll tell you what, Mrs. Cosmic Cultivator looks as good as she did in high school. See, even Robert says total gilf, right?
I totally just did the 10-year challenge on Facebook, and I was honestly surprised. I think I look better.
Yeah, I tell you that
Older.
all the time. You're my sexy cougar.
Hey, Bob.
The Bob. See, here's a good judge. Isn't Gina a great gilf, Bob? Right? See, Melody says Gina's gorgeous. Did you know that Gina's a gilf? Sarah?
Didn't see you
Mm-mm.
sent
Yeah.
you big.
We
hugs
are
and stuff.
grandparents.
Thank you, Wild.
Oh my
I
goodness.
appreciate that. It's really hard.
Yeah.
There are some good days, and then there are some really bad days, and today was one of those really bad days.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I mean, he's doing a lot better physically, but mentally he is.
Gilf? Melody, are you asking what a gilf? See, even Bob says Gina's smoking.
Thanks. I do quite
I'm putting her
frequently.
on the spot right now. You know, she said something about some Facebook 10-year challenge or whatever. What is it?
That's what it's called, the 10-year challenge.
Yeah, what is it? I don't know.
You take a selfie from 10 years ago and compare it to a selfie from now.
Yeah. I mean, I think she looks the way she did in high school. So.
I don't. I actually think I look better now than I did
See,
in high
there you
school.
go. There you go.
I'm not tooting my own horn. I was all over the place.
I am. Okay, Melody does know what a gilf is. All right. I thought you were asking, Melody. I was going to say, that's pretty funny. No.
Wild, how cold is it up there in Canada tonight?
Oh, they said it's like negative 20
Oh,
up there.
God. I shivered for you.
Right? Negative 20.
Oh.
Good luck growing vegetables in that, right?
Yeah, we do get down there from time to time.
But it's like brief. Like, okay, maybe overnight, 6 hours, negative 20, and then we get back up to 0.
It's so weird, though, like when it hits the negatives. And, you have to experience that kind of cold to understand it. But it's like so cold that you can't even feel that it's that cold. You walk out there and you're like, it's not that bad.
Yeah, that's right.
And then
It's,
10 minutes later, you're like a popsicle.
It's like 1 p.m. over there in Australia. I think she's literally on the other half of the planet, like 12 hours from us.
Joe, when I saw this post today, and I have to ask you if this is a real life thing, does it snow spiders there?
What?
It was a post on Facebook, and it showed like every surface everywhere around them just covered in spider webs. It looked like snow.
Oh, so that is true. Some spiders will send out a web almost as a parachute and have them take off into a different.
Not that scenario.
Well, if you multiply that by tens of thousands.
This wasn't like falling spiders. This was like think of arachnophobia.
I think we're scaring Sarah.
Oh my God. No, I'm not a big fan of spiders.
No, me either.
Right?
That's why it traumatized me. I'm like, really? You walk outside and it's just covered in cobwebs everywhere you look?
12 degrees Celsius with the wind.
I wouldn't survive that. I wouldn't.
No, my father-in-law lives in Australia, and the last time they came to visit us, I was complaining over one of those big wolf spiders in the house.
Oh, hate them.
And he was like, "Oh, that's nothing. We've got him almost the size of my feet." And I'm like, "What?
Yeah.
No,
Why do
not
you
doing
even
that."
kill that thing? Like, that's where you have to be walking around with a sword.
So almost on the other side of the planet.
This guy, being cleaners, we encounter arachnids quite frequently. This guy won't even suck them up in the vacuum.
I won't kill any bug.
It didn't do anything to me.
I won't do it.
Kill it, get rid of it.
There'll be the biggest bug in the middle of the rug, and I'll go right around and I'll be like, "Live on, sir." Like, who am I, right? That's all.
You're supposed to be my hero.
I am.
Last year was the worst. Don't ask me how a bat gets inside of a building that is 247,000 square
But it
feet.
happens.
But it was the second time it happened.
And by the way, they chase you.
Yeah. I don't know if it's the hum of the vacuum or what, but they go after you. And this thing was like freaking out and flying in circles. It was horrible. The first time it happened, there was 2 elderly security guards
here's your
there.
answer. I haven't seen it here, but
Ugh.
we do have a stupid amount of spider webs through They Drive Me Bats. Though they drive me bats.
Yeah.
See, sometimes I'm a little illegal.
I'm going to see if I can find that picture.
Sometimes. It was negative. Yeah, that was earlier today, right? Ugh, negative 33 degrees Celsius.
Oh, I just saw it and it went away.
Robert, as far as we can tell, yes, bats will chase you if you are vacuuming. Yes, they will.
I don't know if it has something to do with their echolocation or what.
I think it has. I think it like messes with them, honestly. Like just a running vacuum. What was it?
Hey, Nebbies. What's wrong?
Oh, you got a kitty too?
Yeah, he's kind of freaking out because he's like, why are there people talking to you? What is going on?
Mine was up my butt following me around the house.
Yeah, they like steal the show, and then when you go to put them on camera, they're like, no.
Don't
Yeah.
me.
You know?
Of course, I'll never be able to find it again. It was there, and now it's gone.
Yeah, that's the way Facebook works. That's why I don't even do it. This is the only platform we do. Nikki from Blue Farm says it isn't going to be detrimental to, like, you know, us expanding, but I kind of think it is.
I don't do Facebook.
Yeah, I don't do anything though. Like, this is it. We're one-dimensional. Like,
I do Instagram. Well, I did Instagram. I haven't used it in months. But I just posted pictures. I never like commented on my channel or said, "Hey, I've got a video coming up."
Wasn't it? Isn't that what made you blow up? Was just the pictures on Instagram?
No. Mm-mm.
Oh, okay.
What made my channel get noticed is my stupid video. I was so grumpy. I didn't want to film that day. And I was like, what can I do? And I made a fake wasp nest out of a paper bag. And that was it. That went viral.
That's pretty awesome. Though.
There it is. Just like you don't even know what video is going to be. But
no. And then the other one that's gotten me really good is my squash bug video. I buy those little finger grips for paper, and I use those to kill squash bug eggs. And I have a video out.
That is a great idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I put the video out, and it's gotten like 80,000 views now.
Wow.
That's
that
would have came in handy last year.
You ready for this? Guess what our best video is? Above all the genres that we have, guess what one was our best? Oh, that is freaky. We had 5,400 views on a 20-second video of geese in the distance. You couldn't really see them, but when I zoomed up on them, they had like 3 little babies, and that got 5,000 views.
Well, I can tell you from what my experience has been.
I don't know if you can see that or not.
Oh, no, you can see that. That's creepy.
Yeah, it's like a cotton candy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it goes on. There's like this picnic table, for example.
Oh.
Like how? How do you really live like that?
No.
Uh-oh, here we go. Fun fact.
Oh man, I didn't even see that one. Yes. Hey, Jerwin, what kind of spider is that? Like, what the heck? No.
Hey, you have a spider on your forearm.
Don't do that.
It's right there, dude. I'm not even joking. It's a piece of lint.
Okay, so Chris, real quick.
Yeah.
What I have found that helps my videos get more views is mentioning the word organic.
I can do that all day long.
Yeah, because we are. We
right.
Really do.
So make sure you put in your video title that you're organic. So, not on every video, but just occasional.
Yeah.
Make sure your hashtag every single time as organic gardening, organic gardener, and use your zone. Whatever zone you are in, make sure you add that because I have the most following from my local area.
Yep. That makes a lot. Do you hashtag that zone or?
Yeah. I hashtag it.
That's really good to know.
I'll even hashtag and say like hashtag South Carolina gardening, hashtag SC gardening, hashtag Zone 7B, and it really seems to get me a lot more views.
Yeah. Huh.
And I don't think there are a lot of YouTubers up here in our area. It was really surprising to me one day. I walked into my favorite gas station, convenience store, whatever you want to call it. And one of the clerks was like, "Oh my God, I saw you on YouTube." And I'm like,
there it is right there.
What? You did?
Oh, wow.
Melody agrees, Sarah. Melody agrees with you. Oh, I got wicked heartburn, man.
You want some tum?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to get some.
In your backpack.
Yeah, I got it. Oh my goodness. Oh, I'm getting so old.
Hello, you're the clicker. You can't stop clicking.
Oh, don't worry. You know how to push buttons.
I try to do short videos, but I talk too much. I can't.
It's hard.
Yeah.
It's so hard. Like recording her, she like starts to talk about a plant and then goes on and on and on. I'm like, all right, this is supposed to be like a 5-minute video, and we're at 23 minutes.
Yeah, I feel like I'm gonna leave something out, but like he's like, how long can you really go on talking about one plant? I'm like, you don't want to know.
Oh, don't even ask me to stay on one plant because I can sit here all day just talking.
Yeah, and then that's the other thing too. Like, especially if you're in the actual garden doing the video, like I can't stay focused. I'm like, oh, look at that plant. Look what that plant's doing. Like, it's very new and very fascinating to me, and just the amount of change that happens so quick.
Jerwin, what's your grow zone? I'm curious.
She's in a tropical heaven. She can grow anything and everything.
8 or 9.
Yeah, I would say 7+, honestly.
I'm going to teach a class about how to make short videos. Homestead Aquarius, you're pretty good at short videos, but even you sometimes, sir, like to ramble.
Yeah.
Short videos are so easy.
Ravioli. Yeah, but you know what, Melly? Those raviolis looked amazing. Like, so good.
I don't think I saw the raviolis. I haven't been watching a whole lot of YouTube. I think it was your chili video. I was in the mood for chili and I watched that one, Mel.
Oh,
and I was just like,
live.
Oh.
That was a live video. We did that one.
No, melodies.
Oh, no, melodies. Gotcha. I think it's because everybody was doing chili all in like the same week, and I wanted chili. Like, dang it.
Yeah.
Chili challenge.
I'm going to teach everybody how to make short videos.
Yeah, we already read these. You're way behind.
Oh, well, Sarah can't read. I have to click on it.
I'm a fast reader.
I'm organic as I can be anyway. To be totally organic, there's a lot of rules to sell as certified. Yeah, I actually looked into that.
10 minutes. That is a short video, isn't it? 10 minutes? I think so. I mean, for instance, when you're doing a cooking video, right? We set everything up on the styrofoam plate so that way we're like, we have X, Y, Z. We're doing this, this, this. This is how you cook it. This is the way it comes out. These are the final steps. You edit it. Oh my goodness, that was a 26-minute video. WTF. Like, there's not much you can do.
Whenever I do my cooking videos, just to give you guys a heads up, I will show like the beginning process of what my ingredients are and what I'm doing. And if I need something diced a specific size, I'll cut that up for a second and share it. Other than that, I throw it in the pan, start to cook it, and I'll say, all right, I'll bring you back when it's done. And I don't even film. I just showed the beginning, like 30 seconds, and then turn it off. And then I come back and film the next step. And I honestly have cooked some things that have taken me a good 45, 50 minutes to make. And I've gotten them down to a 16-minute video.
Yeah, but even so, it's like we do all those steps as well. I don't know, maybe.
Well, you record the whole process.
Yeah, but I do the cosmic warp speed, which kind of takes up, like, I'll put it, if it's a 10-minute segment, like when I was making caramel and stirring the caramel, that 10-minute segment only was like 90 seconds of cosmic warp speed. So, I don't know.
What she's saying, sometimes just leave that out. You're better off.
I guess, yeah. But I like the cosmic warp speed. It's fun.
I can't figure out how to do that. I like it though. I like the fast forward stuff.
Yeah, it has taken a lot. Like I'm kind of an insomniac, so that just goes to show you, like, that's where I put my time in. Is that there?
Yeah, so Melody's ravioli, she used her butternut squash from the garden, and they looked amazing.
Made homemade pasta, rolled it out real thin, had a new ravioli press. It just amazing. If I remember correctly, she boiled them and then fried them, I think. I'm pretty sure that's how she did them, and they look fabulous.
Never had squash ravioli ever in my life. But definitely now want to try it. I love butternut squash.
Zone 9B.
Yeah, so she's toasty.
Is that like tropical? Like 8 and 9 would be tropical regions. 7, 6, 5. Is that how that works? Or
Sarah, you're 7, right?
Yeah, I'm 7.
Yeah.
7B. I'm right on the border of A and B.
I want to say Florida is like 8A and B.
Yeah.
I think Florida actually starts hitting the 9s. If I remember. Let me see if I have a pack of seeds. I'm sure it'll say it on the back of the seeds.
What's this? All I can say like
No.
Show me putting ingredients together and show. Yeah, maybe I need to do more of that. Just cut out more of the BS and get right to the point.
Q, you're right with us. We're 6B.
Yep. Yes, Chris. Sage brown butter sauce, delicious. Yep. It really was, Melody. Yeah.
Is that great? Is that grow zone 3 and 4? That's rough.
You imagine poor Nisi this year? Like, she gardened all year long. She's like, I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I'm trying to grow this, that, this. I don't understand. Then she found out that she's literally in a microclimate. And her grow zone that she was told in the general area was, I think, 5 zones different from where her location was in this microclimate.
Oh my God.
So she literally has to convert her gardening skills to like Alaska type gardening. But you know what? She came on. She's like,
get a greenhouse.
I don't understand. I have blueberries the size of grapes, and she had like huge blueberries. And I guess that goes to show that that's why, right? Because blueberries is one of those things that's a colder thing, right?
They don't mind.
We like cooler temps.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm trying to learn myself.
She's mountain, right?
Yeah, she's on the side of a mountain.
That could be why, too. It could be an elevation
That's
thing.
what it is. I think she's in like a little cul-de-sac where it's just the microclimate in her area. Like,
that might help her out, though, if she figures out the right things to grow.
Oh, please don't get me wrong with the cooking videos. I wasn't saying anything towards you guys. I like your videos.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
We don't
I'm
take
just saying
personal stuff.
No, this is a conversation Melody and I have had. It's like, when it comes to cooking videos, you can cut and clip and cut and not show this and not show that. It's still a 20+ minute video. Like, no matter how many corners you cut.
You should try doing canning videos.
Oh, yeah.
That's such a long
run.
Anyway.
It is. Not to mention setting up and everything else. Like,
I'm hoping to get to do a lot more of that this year. We now have 3 pressure canners, so
yeah.
That's
And
awesome.
one of canning jars, lids.
Yeah. That's the thing. If we're going for 1,000 pounds this year.
Yeah, we're going to be spending a lot of time in the kitchen.
Well, I am. You don't do the kitchen aspect. That's why I don't really do the gardening aspect. 50-50.
No, we both preserved.
Yeah.
We had sauce wars and everything else.
Nisi is in a microclimate like me. It's so annoying. Yep. Yep. See, I pay attention. I really do.
Temp range -5 degrees Celsius to 47 degrees Celsius, or
Yeah. That's Australia.
23 degrees to 160.
And there can be a fluctuation of like 70, 80 degrees, right, Jerwin? I'm pretty sure that's a thing. Just like deserts.
That's like drastic.
Yeah.
23 degrees to 113.
Elevation does make a significant difference. Also, wouldn't that make a significant difference in like the carbon intake of your plants too, right? Maybe.
What?
All right.
You're being too technical.
Sorry. That's just whatever.
Keep your 9th grade education to yourself, Chris.
Yeah.
I tell you, I've gotten more of an education through the community and YouTube than my actual school system. So
I understand.
shame on them is what I say. Canning is a long process, Melody. I need to have an unboxing live with my... Ooh, really? Yeah, let's see it, Wild Edibles. Hello, Ariel. How are you? Good to see you. What is Alaska 3? I would imagine so. Like, you can ask Wild Edibles what her grow area is and then subtract a couple more. That's how I would do that. Nisi and Jedi are on the mountain. I am elevated. Oh, I didn't. Robert, you're on a mountain? I thought you were like kinda in swamp area. Kinda.
Swamp? He's in Alabama.
Yeah. Am I wrong? Isn't there swamps in Alabama? Right next to Mississippi.
I don't know if there's swamps there. That's a good question.
I don't know. I didn't think so.
Everybody's
I thought that was more like Louisiana.
Everyone's basically saying hi to one another. Sarah, you're not missing much in the chat.
Hello, Ariel.
Hello, Jedi does not live in a swamp. Okay.
I told you.
All right. Fair enough.
Oh,
but I'm still curious about that, since Alabama is next to Mississippi, if I am correct. Mississippi is like the most swamp-ridden area next to Florida, which is also next to Alabama. So...
Yeah, we got swamps, he says.
Yes! Look at the dumb kid standing out. Chris, that is Q. You just read.
You just read.
Oh, okay. Anyway. I am working on remastering one of my earliest videos from... Really?
Doing a redo, are you?
Nice.
Revamp.
So would that be like a prequel? Yeah. Like a pre-movie, a prequel? Is that how that's said?
It's how it's said, but I don't think that would be like pre her channel.
Yeah, well, it's from 3 years ago. I don't know. We'll have to stay tuned and find out, huh?
You are like Yoda. Homestead Aquarius is Yoda.
Pressure canning is not that bad. A lot of people get scared of it. It's really easy. After the first time, you know what you're doing. It's so easy to do.
Of it.
I've done it. It's not that intimidating to me, because once you understand the structure of the can and how it's not going to bust open on you unless there's a catastrophic failure in the weakening of the metal itself, which you should know anyway by cracking, it's perfectly fine.
Now, most pressure canners nowadays have a built-in feature that does not allow them to overpressurize. So
Mhm.
when you hook that lid and you start building that pressure, make sure you let it vent for the 10 minutes it suggests, because that's where your problem will come in with the siphoning out of your can or your, jars themselves.
Yeah.
But 10 minutes of pressure release as it's, building the pressure up, then put your weight on and then let your dial go and you're good to go. They're not going to blow up.
That's the part that scares me, is when that thing starts rattling all over the place.
But
I'm
even
like, oh God.
even the plastic pieces would break apart before it actually exploded itself. So
I even have an old All-American from like the 1960s that you have to like bring the pieces up and screw all the way around.
Yes, that's one of the ones we just inherited.
As long as you stick with each side, bring up one side, screw it, then bring the other side opposite, screw that one on, and work it evenly, it builds or it seals the pressure in there correctly. And you have no problems. I love that canner. It works so nice.
Oh,
I mean, that's kind of
Passamaquoddy. You can drop anything you would like. You are a mod, just as long as it's appropriate, of course.
that's the great thing about having older relatives. Chris's great aunt, is it your great aunt? Yeah, it is your great aunt. Yeah,
Ohio.
Joyce.
Yeah.
She just sold her ginormous house in Ohio, and she's moving to North Carolina. And she's getting to an age where she doesn't necessarily want to can anymore. Like, they used to go to the farmers markets and get pounds and pounds of beans
and do the whole thing that all you were doing.
Yeah. But she's like, I'm getting really up there in age, and his dad went down to help them move, so she loaded the truck
and just
up.
like you previously in the year, your inheritance of all those jars.
Yeah.
We pretty much got the same amount, like hundreds and hundreds of jars.
3 pressure canners.
So, 3 pressure canners. Like
tons of antique stuff. Tons of it. Got, those fancy old China tea sets, like the whole 9 yards. We even got the cabinet to put them in.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. A lot of new old stuff. You know what I mean. New to us, old to everybody else. Yeah.
Didn't your mom even get the Fabergé eggs? Wasn't that the Fabergé eggs? I think those were even in there with it. The really expensive. Yeah.
Yeah, I have no idea, man. No idea.
Never watched Antique Roadshow?
I did, but I never, it was more or less a sound in the background than anything else.
No, I could not imagine Grow Zone 1. There is a 1 that exists.
That would be like within the Arctic Circle, I would imagine.
Antarctica.
No, like within the Arctic Circle. I don't even think Alaska. Some pieces of Alaska are in the Arctic Circle. I don't think all of it is, though. So I would imagine Grow Zone 1 would be pretty close to that. Ow. That hurt. Will you stop doing? My computer likes to freak out. This is what I was talking about the other night when I was sitting in the truck.
I guess that's why you have your phone handy too.
So for some reason, there's this box that pops up on my screen
and covers the
chat. So I can't see the chat until it loads up and then unloads and disperses itself. Like, I don't understand why it does it. But Gina's witnessing it. She can say I'm not psycho. It's happening right here, right now. So what's going on? Nothing. We're all talkative here. We got
Homestead Aquarius says Grow Zone 1 Hoth, whatever that means.
Hoth?
Hoth.
Hoth? Like hoof?
No, that's Hoth.
Oh. And I couldn't imagine. I mean, this Grow Zone is bad enough as is.
Yeah, that's what Pastor McCarty just said. No, I couldn't. 6B is hard enough.
It is. Like, thank goodness we have the greenhouse, because that really adds 2 more months onto our grow season.
Wild edibles is 3 or 4. They're on that line. That
Hey, there we go. I
wild
finally got it
edibles,
back.
the fact that you grow food, period, and I've seen your garden, holy poop, like
Aw.
it's pretty amazing.
I'd love to pressure can if I could get the pressure canner. Well, yeah, you can also do
Instapot nowadays.
yeah, the Instapots, and I'm sure you do like what is that? Water bath canning is the word I'm looking for.
Now, a lot of people don't realize if you don't own a pressure canner, you can just do it in a water bath canner,
Yeah.
but you have to do it for like 3 hours. So it runs forever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you still are harvesting and preserving that food.
Honestly, I'm weird like that, and that is the method that I prefer. It's just more comfortable for me.
Hoth is a frozen planet in Star Wars.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Don't roll your eyes at me, Robert. You know, I can drop some fact bombs on you, but you probably already know them because you're a wealth of knowledge.
Oh, I had no idea, and I should know. My dad, forced Star Wars upon me.
Yeah, I water bath. Okay. I kind of figured, Ariel. I really did. Like, if you can't go one way, you look for another.
Melody says simply living Alaska is grow zone 2 to 3.
Yeah, which means they have like 4 months to grow.
Is that 4 months? We're like 4 months.
No, we have.
It seems
we
like
have
4
like
months.
6 to 7 with a greenhouse, like 7 to 8-ish.
I want to be able to can meats. I believe they have to be pressure canned only. I believe they do too.
Yeah, I don't know, Sarah.
I do things old school. Go by what your instincts tell you. If you feel more comfortable with the pressure canning, then go with that. But do realize that pressure canners were not invented until way after water bath canners. And yeah, that was just actually used for a new method of cooking, not preserving. You can do it 3 hours in a water bath. It kills every bacterial spore that would ever grow in there, and it would work just the same. I have done it many times.
That's good to know, Sarah.
So you just said it, trust your gut. Like I don't even dare do meats in canning yet. So
raw meats is my scary for me.
I'm going to be honest. I'm going to be that one person that stands up and says, this is what you need to know about canning meats. It's disgusting.
Yeah, I've heard it's not a pleasant experience.
Yeah. I will only do pulled pork and barbecue sauce, and I will sometimes do chicken. And that's just to have it on hand in case I need it quickly for chicken salads or something.
Yeah.
But I won't do hamburger in any form whatsoever. It's gross. I won't do I did corned beef once. It was really greasy and kind of dry. To me, it wastes the product. It's easier just to cook it and freeze it for quick consumption. Like if you're grilling chicken breast and just slice them down for salads or whatever.
Yeah.
I do not care for pressure canned meats or canned meats at all. Soups are different.
I feel like if it was like a serious emergency, like need to have meat, I would much rather dehydrate or smoke it.
Yeah.
I'd smoke it.
And if you cure it with salt and smoke it, you can preserve that for up to 2 months, I believe. If you're an avid hunter and you know what you're doing, you shouldn't have to preserve meat longer than that.
Yeah. But I completely understand what you're saying, Sarah. Like I've seen people can meat, and I've seen people then cook that meat after, and it's been kind of like, I mean, if I was starving, I would eat it probably, but
yeah.
No, you only have to run meat for 3 hours in a water bath canner. You can go longer to feel safe. I don't do a whole lot of canned meats anymore because we don't use them. It's wasteful for us. Honestly, it turns into dog food. I think a lot of it's very disgusting.
So as far as this goes, wild edibles, I would be more confident in cooking soups and canning them that way than actually throwing raw meat in there and canning it.
I think that's the other thing to me too. And like Sarah said, like I can't imagine what raw meat, like raw chicken, would look like after being canned, sat there, and then you had to cook it again.
So Tony, we haven't seen the recook of it, but Tony from our cabin in the woods.
Yeah, and all I could think of the whole time he was doing it was
and it was just it didn't look good, but obviously it's edible because he's been doing it for years, yada yada.
Yeah.
Right? But I don't know, to us it just I don't know.
I mean, you're cooking it for 90 minutes. And usually it's in a liquid as well, because most people add a broth or water to their meats.
Yeah, he did it dry.
See, I don't trust the dry except with chicken because it's juicy enough to create its own broth.
That's
exactly what he did was chicken.
Yeah. But 90 minutes, when have you ever cooked, a handful of chicken breast for 90 minutes? It dries it out, even in the pressure canners, so much, in my opinion.
Yeah. Yeah.
You flew by everything.
No, that was the
canned dehydrated hamburger meat seems like a good thing.
Now I do a lot of soups. Like I have turkeys in the freezer. I'll roast a turkey, pull it apart, and then add that to jars and add all my vegetables and my stock and everything. And those turn out fine. I don't do hamburger at all. I'm just going to be honest. It looks, smells, and has the texture of dog food.
Yeah.
I can't stand it.
Yeah.
See, I think Chris has something going with the whole soup thing. Like if I was going to do canned meat, I would definitely be doing it in
because you're at least cooking it first. I would, because I'd want to get that sear on it to hopefully preserve some of the moisture within the meat. That's just the way I would do it as a cook. So the beef stew is great. Yeah, I bet homemade beef stew. Oh, now I'm going to have to make beef stew. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, I've been dying for beef stew anyway.
You say that once a week.
I love beef stew. With a good
roll. Well, I'm going to jump off. My phone is about to die.
No problem.
Sarah,
we're probably
going
to close it down anyway, because we've been on for 2 hours and it's 1:48, and I'm sure everybody's sick of us because we've been on live for 6 hours in the past 2 days.
Yeah, and unfortunately, I got to get up and do crap tomorrow.
Yeah. So,
but Sarah, thank you. And like I said, if you need any help, don't hesitate to reach out. I would love to help.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. Yeah. All right. Well, you guys have a good night, and I will see you again soon.
All right. See you later.
Bye.
Bye. All right, everyone.
Thanks for being here.
Yeah. Thank you again. And
I hope you liked our Shed Wars / random topics.
Yeah, it wasn't so much Shed Wars, but it was just random chit chat about gardening, which is just as good.
If you don't know, which I'm pretty sure all of you in here know, make sure you go out and check out the new Shed War clubs.
I'm seeing if Trish is on still from Wiley Living. That's probably where we're gonna head after this. Yes. So Trish from Wiley Living is still live. If you all want to go check her out or go to bed or do whatever it is you do, we hope you have a wonderful night.
Thanks for being here like you always are. We appreciate it.
Yep.
We appreciate the support. It means a lot to us.
It does. And peace, love,
You'll
and
probably
happiness.
see us around tomorrow.
Yes, absolutely. Sunday fun day. Have a good one, everyone.
Peace.